So before playing it, I had only heard bad things about the Black Ops 7 beta. Mostly that the game is basically a reskinned Black Ops 6. And given I did a few videos on Black Ops 6, including one on the Black Ops 6 beta, I thought I'd find out. The people saying these things are wrong. Very wrong. Okay, I guess if you're not really into Call of Duty, it probably feels the same. It feels like Call of Duty overall, but the small details make it not quite like any Call of Duty we've seen before. The first and probably most impactful change I want to talk about is the weight of everything. What do I mean by weight exactly? Well, animations like crouching, vaulting, throwing grenades, etc., they actually take a small amount of time, making everything feel heavier. Tactical shooters like Rainbow Six Siege have a lot of weight to them, which slows gameplay down quite a bit. Personally, I think a bit of weight is just what Call of Duty needed, and that's what we see here. It means you have to slightly consider your movements. Just slightly. Spamming buttons blindly doesn't give you an advantage anymore. Of course, it's still very much Call of Duty, so don't expect it to be like a tactical shooter. It's still very fast-paced. At the same time, though, it takes a bit of practice to get used to, and I know that's going to upset a lot of people. So it's definitely a personal preference thing. I happen to like it. One thing's for certain, though, it doesn't feel like Black Ops 6. Another massive change is the addition of open playlists, which are playlists where the skill-based matchmaking is turned way down. It's not completely off, but it's close. This is something people have been asking for a decade now, so it's great to finally see. It means the lobbies prioritize connection, so you get better connection in your lobbies, and that you see a wider skill gap in matches, making them much more interesting. Sure, one side will steamroll the other team occasionally, but that's part of the fun. Another change I really like is that the guns have recoil again. At least some of them. For the past several games, everything felt like a laser beam to me, but several of the guns I've tried out actually had recoil in the beta, which is nice. Everything having such low recoil made the gun variety really uninteresting in recent Call of Duty titles, so it's nice to see it really return. And while talking about gun variety, I have to say that the gun variety feels really good. Each gun is unique and has a reason to be in the game. For example, the Dravik, I guess that's how you say it, 45, is the slow-firing, accurate SMG, similar to the MSMC from Black Ops 2 or the Razorback from Black Ops 3. The Razor 9mm is more like the Scorpion Evo or Vesper with its high fire rate, and so on. It's not like more recent Call of Duty titles where every gun was trying to compete for the same role, it seemed, you know? Everything had a good fire rate, good damage per second, good accuracy. It's like, what even is the point? The maps also don't suck like they did in Black Ops 6. The maps actually feel like they were handcrafted and flow well, and aren't weird AI squares like half of the Black Ops 6 maps are. They also look really nice, so that's a plus. They're a bit smaller and more cluttered on average than I would like still, but they're way better than what we saw last year. Hopefully there's a bit more variety in the full game than in the beta, but even if there isn't, the maps are good so far, so it's fine. The new game mode Overload is pretty fun so far and could make for a good competitive / ranked game mode. It's basically one flag capture the flag if you remember that, but there's 2 places to score at, which means camping is less viable. Not that camping was really a big issue in this game mode, but why not make it better? Oh, and zombies is in the beta for once. It's not a full zombies experience, just a small area, but it was fun to mess around with and cool to see in the beta. Zombies players are probably testing out all sorts of things already and really optimizing stuff for the full release of the game. However, it's not all positives. Going back to multiplayer, the time to kill feels faster, which to me is more of a neutral change. I wouldn't say it's good or bad necessarily. It depends on preference and overall weapon balance. So far, things have felt balanced to me, so I'm not complaining here, but I see other people are. And there are for sure things to complain about. The performance is probably the worst I've seen from a Call of Duty beta, which is a bit concerning. It stutters a lot and the hit detection can be all over the place at times. It has also froze or booted me from a match for connection reasons quite a few times. The visibility is weirdly low for a Call of Duty game. Not only is the UI really small, I guess to account for most people having increasingly large monitors and TVs, but some of the characters blend into the environments really well, which isn't a problem in and of itself. It's another thing where it comes down to preference and some people liking low visibility shooters as it allows them to gain an advantage by playing slower. You know, I for one would actually take advantage of the ghillie suits in the original Black Ops. There were certain areas in maps where you could lay down with a sniper rifle and people would just walk right past you. And sure, a big part of it was just that people weren't as good at Call of Duty back then, but it allowed for a variety in gameplay options. However, the head glitching and camping that are somewhat encouraged by low visibility is already being seen, and I know that's definitely not something people are a fan of. It's not a camp fest by any means, you know, it's not as bad as Black Ops 1, which I loved Black Ops 1, but camping was a big issue back then. But there are campers in Black Ops 7. Of course, in my opinion, if you can't deal with campers, that's a skill issue. Just throw a grenade. Finally, the doors suck. They're automatic, but they're honestly worse than the manual doors that everyone complained about last year. They're inconsistent with when they open and close, and often give people's positions away or cut off lines of sight at the dumbest times. Like, I can't count the amount of times where I tried throwing a grenade through a doorway and the door just happened to close right at the right time to bounce it back at me. It wouldn't kill me or anything, it's just, what are the odds? Like, it has to be doing it. It's like the door is trolling me. They're not fun, in my opinion. And from what I've seen, I don't think anybody's really liking them. You also can't see exact stats, like what the rounds per minute of guns are, or, you know, the damage they do based on where they hit, which isn't something you can actually see in most Call of Duty games, I think, but it was in Black Ops 6, and it was something that I really enjoyed and kind of relied on at times, especially for figuring out DPS models for zombies and stuff like that. But yeah, it's missing, and hopefully it's just because it's a beta, but if I remember correctly, that was in the Black Ops 6 beta, so that kind of tells me it's likely going to be missing in the full game as well. Then there's problems being carried over from Black Ops 6, like how I'm personally not a fan of the perk or attachment balance, but it doesn't seem as poorly designed as Black Ops 6 at the very least. Also, all of those negatives can be fixed and certainly don't outweigh the positives, at least compared to Black Ops 6. So yeah, Black Ops 7 is really different from Black Ops 6. I'm liking it more than Black Ops 6 by quite a bit, honestly, which I'm surprised by. I fully expected to skip out this year and just play Battlefield, but it's looking like I'll be getting both. It's not the Call of Duty I'm personally holding out hope for. We'd have to see a return of Pick 10 or similar system, lobbies lasting more than a match at a time, you know, stuff like that. But it is getting there, I feel like. Like, it's becoming more enjoyable again. But what about you? Are you enjoying the beta? Do you plan on getting the full game? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more from me, subscribe. But that's it for today, so yeah, see ya.
Just what Call of Duty needed.